Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to take a look at essential idioms for managers and for management in business English. So, there's lots of idioms in the English language, lots of idioms we use for business. The ones I'm going to teach you here are ones for managers and management to use. Let's jump right in. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Melissa B. Duarte. I'm the author of the Global Business English Mastery Series. I wrote an entire book on business English idioms, available on Amazon if you're interested. But I've got lots here for you in the video. So just hang tight and we're going to go through all these idioms. Now, with the idioms, I'm going to be putting them on the screen, obviously, but I will also have a PDF, free PDF download that I'll pin to the comments of this video. So you can go ahead and download these and you can work with them after the lesson. Okay, let's jump in. Okay, so again, there are hundreds of idioms used in business English all the time, daily. I'm not going to give you hundreds here. I mean, I actually haven't. My book. I'm doing a podcast where I'm reading my entire book. So if you really want to go deep with a lot of idioms, look at my podcast cast. I'm actually reading my entire book and putting my whole book on the screen so you can learn all these idioms. But again, we're focusing on idioms specifically for managers and management. So there's so many idioms you can use. I mean, every conversation can include an idiom, but I'm really going to make sure that these are really focused just on management and managers and what you need to say in certain situations. So the first one is on the same page. And if you don't know on the same page, it's as if I'm reading a book and you're reading a book and we're both on page 27. So we're in unison. We are in agreement about what we're reading. So to be on the same page is to have the same understanding, opinion, or to be in agreement with someone. So as a manager, if you're presenting a project, an idea, a new procedure, a new policy in your work, and you want to make sure that people understand the importance of something, or they understand the difficulty in something, or they understand what you're trying to communicate, you can say, are we all on the same page? Are you on the same page? Listen, we need to be on the same page, which just means we need to have an understanding of each other. We need to be in agreement. There needs to be an understanding that we know the importance of this or the difficulty in this. So, to be on the same page, incredibly important, very, very important business English, especially if you are delegating or talking to your teams. Making sure people are on the same page means you guys have an agreement and you have an understanding. Okay, next one is the big picture. And the big picture is, I mean, imagine a map of your country. If you have your entire country on a map, you're looking at your entire country. You're not looking at individual street names. You're not looking at individual buildings. No, it's an entire, unless your country's like the Vatican, really small. Most countries, if you look at a map of your country, you're just seeing the big picture. You're not seeing small details. So, the big picture or big picture thinking for managers, this is really important. This means you're focusing on the big picture, on everything in your department, on everything about the project, but not on small details. So, a good manager focuses on the big picture. If you're interviewing for a position as a manager, you can say, I work very well as a manager because I focus on the big picture. I'm a big picture thinker. And people love this if they're hiring managers because they don't want managers that go down into the details and they don't manage. No, as a manager, you need to be looking from above, looking down at your entire department or your company and your team and all the projects that are going. And you need to see it as if you're above, like a bird's eye view, as if you're looking down how everything works together. So, this is an overall view of a situation. It's not the small details. For a manager, this is important, the big picture. So, as a manager, I always focus on the big picture. So, small little details, it could be a problem, but unless it's a really big problem, it's not my problem. We have staff that will take care of that. So a good manager focuses on the big picture. Okay, this next one is back to the drawing board. And this is fantastic and incredibly useful. Again, it's all for management and managers. So back to the drawing board is someone on your team does something for you, a report, a presentation, a quote. Now they're going to send it to you to review before it gets sent out to the client or before it's presented to the board, right? So as a manager, you have to approve things and make sure they're good enough. Now, if something has come to your attention or someone has sent you something and no, it's not ready to be presented, not ready to be published or given to the client or whatever the case may be, if the idea is not fully developed, it's back to the drawing board. And this means you have to redo it. So this doesn't mean when a report or presentation or quote is done and there's some small mistakes to clean up. No. This is when something's done and it has to be completely redone. So they meaning your staff, completely got the message wrong. They didn't understand the point of the presentation or the report or the quote or the email, whatever they're doing, and it's back to the drawing board. So it means to start again after a failure. And so if they sent you something and this is not right, so you have your graphics team looking at some new branding and they'll send you some logo examples. And if you don't like 3 of those logo examples, sorry guys, back to the drawing board. Just nope, start right again from scratch, from the beginning. None of these work. Or again, a staff member is putting together a presentation, perhaps for an annual meeting of branch managers, and the presentation is just completely not even using company branding. It's talking with older data from previous years. It's not really relevant to what the meeting's about. You say, sorry, back to the drawing board on this one. You have to redo it. So a client could reject a proposal. Okay, back to the drawing board. So even it could be something the manager does, and the manager's trying to pitch something in your team to get approval or to get finance to approve more funding. And finance goes, nope, we won't fund new equipment for your team. The manager says, okay, well, it's back to the drawing board. I have to redo that presentation, redo that proposal to hopefully get funding. So back to the drawing board means what I've done is not good enough. I have to start again from the beginning. Okay, next one I love, and I love so many idioms. The reason I say I love them is they're so fun to use and they're so useful in business English. I mean, idioms are used more in business English than in regular English because with a small amount of words, you're painting an entire picture of a scenario, of a situation, of a feeling, of a dynamic, whatever the case may be. And this is one of the other ones that really does paint a big picture in 3 words. This is call the shots. Call the shots. And call the shots means you're in control or you are the person who's making the important decisions. So a manager calls the shots. They decide what to do. They're in control of making decisions. They're in control of the staff. Any questions? Go see the manager. The manager calls the shots. So if you're interviewing, and they're asking, what's your experience in management? You can say, well, I'm very used to calling the shots when it comes to budget spending. I'm used to calling the shots on important decisions. I'm very efficient and very effective in calling the shots, dealing with difficult clients, which means I'm good at making decisions. I'm good at telling people what to do. I'm good at being in control, calling the shots. Or again, if you are in management and of course you're delegating, right? So you have a team and you have a big project to work on and you're going to delegate one client to one of your team members and go, okay, anything to do with client A, Peter is calling the shots, which means go talk to Peter, don't talk to me. So if you're delegating, you can tell your team that this person calls the shots for this project or this person calls the shots. Or I'm on holiday, Maria is going to call the shots while I'm away. So Maria is in control. So call the shots to be in control or to be the person making decisions. Incredibly important idiom for managers. Last one here, and I only put 5 in this video, so you need more. You need more. But these are my top 5 that a manager needs to know and use if you're working in management. So I'm sorry I'm not giving you more, but I've got lots of videos coming on idioms. And I have the book, which again, the podcast, I'm reading through the entire book. Or you can go on Amazon, pick up my book. But these are the top 5 idioms for management. This is the very last one. This is by the book. Buy the book. Buy, B-Y, not buy as in B-U-Y. Buy the book. And this is incredibly important for managers because when you're giving instructions, if you need people to follow your instructions, follow your rules, follow your policies, follow your procedures exactly, you say, I need this done by the book. This needs to be done by the book. So by the book means that everyone's following rules, procedures, policies, all the instructions you give them, you need them to follow it exactly. You say by the book. So auditors expect us to handle all the reports by the book, or this client's incredibly important to us. Everything needs to be done by the book. So no spontaneity, no diverting from the plan, no going off in a different direction. No, things need to be done by the book. Now, if you are a manager and maybe you come in for some criticism from HR, and HR is saying, well, one staff member said you were quite, angry in a meeting and the staff's uncomfortable with that. You can say, no, I did everything by the book. I followed procedure. I followed policy. Okay, that's it. We've done 5 essential idioms for managers or people who work in management. Thank you so much for joining me for this small little class. If you did enjoy the video, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments other bits of business English you want me to tackle. I'm here for you guys.